So creating that task, putting the transaction to the asset, and reporting on that in here. What I'm going to show you now is some important reports that you can pull in the reporting field. So going into your reports, you'll just hit your asset report here, and you have different areas within that asset report, one being your barcodes. If you click on barcodes, you're going to see here that you have different options for your barcodes. Every asset that you have within maintenance care will populate a barcode. You'll be able to pull these barcodes and stick them to the asset themselves. And with the mobile app, you'll be able to scan these barcodes and pull up the information. So as you can see, we have barcode Avery 5264, barcode Avery 6576. This means that Avery label 5264, this is configured to that label. We also have Dymo. So if you have a Dymo printer, you can pull the assets based on the barcodes based on the Dymo size, and you can just configure it and print there. By clicking on one of these and submitting, you'll see here that we have all the asset barcodes populated. It's very important to note that you must export this into a PDF by exporting up here before you print these barcodes. Once you purchase the Avery labels and you export to PDF, you'll be able to print it right to your printer, and it will size up with the Avery label that you have. So that's where you find your barcodes. Now going back into our asset report, going into our general tab, we have the forecast. This is a very important report to pull when you're doing your forecasting or your capital planning. So once we open up this report here, I'm just going to go to the area that I have been working in, which is the kingdom. So once we've done that, it's going to pull the assets within that particular facility. So you have different areas, asset class that we can sort by. We can sort by group. One of the best groupings is the life maturation year. So let's take a look at that report. So as you can see here, we have the life maturation in years, so 2015, 16, 2020, and so on and so forth. You will notice here that we have the unit cost as well as the replacement cost. So as you can see, 2019, we have a replacement cost for these two particular units of $26,000. So what we can do with this report is we can start to plan ahead, put the money away for these larger repairs or replacements just based on this report alone. You can also pull this report and you can see life expectancy. Bear with me here. If I could just move this over. A participant. There we go. My apologies. Life expectancy by percent is what we're looking at here. So as you can see here, we have 0 to 10%. We have 20%, 30%, and so on and so forth. So what you'll notice here is we have 151% in the red here. So this central unit, it's only within the 10% of its life. However, we've already overspent on this just based on our reporting here. So as you can see, we're 151% over our value spend. So right now we can take a look at that particular asset, jump in, see what sort of parts we've been putting into it, what transactions are in there. Is there something that's reoccurring constantly? That's when you can reach out to the vendor. Find out if there's a warranty still on it or if there's a recall. You can continue to fix it, or you can replace it knowing that there's something wrong with this particular unit. So those are the three reports that I would pull based on your assets being in the system and your forecasting needs. Dino, that concludes the webinar 101 on assets. I'll pass it over to you for questions.
All right. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. I've got plenty of them. They came in, and you can still, like I said, just to repeat, you can put your questions, any questions that you may have in the Q&A section of the Ring Central application.